Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, a fat useless triathlete's route to challenge ROF 2023 and beyond. Hi, my name's Les, and it's not Len as it is in the title. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Why triathlon? Well, I've always been into running when I was at school. I've run 2 London marathons, one when I was in 1989, so I was about 19 years old, and a couple of years later on when I was about 22 in 1993, so I'm 53 now. Triathlon, once I learned about running the marathon after a nice long swim and a nice long bike, that got me going, and that's the reason why I do triathlon. Why YouTube? Well, I've been following quite a few influencers and other pro athletes on YouTube, and generally everything's always just about them. But I thought I'd try and do it as a little bit different. There will be some content that will be about me and my journey to ROF in this year 2023 and beyond, so watch out for further videos on that one. But I wanted to do it a bit more of a club focus. I'm a member of Having Triathlon Club in Upminster in Essex, and we are the best triathlon club in the whole world. That's official. I wanted to try and bring more of a club focus into the videos, so it's not just about me and then me trying to earn money, trying to sell things, as you get on quite a few of these videos. I want it to be more of a sort of club focus and how a club can help you develop yourself as a triathlete. And on a more of a personal note for me, it's a struggle of actually getting the training in. Now, I work in construction, which is long hours, so by the time I've got home from work, I'm then thinking about trying to do a workout. I will give you a tour of my training facility in another video, but it's just that getting home from work, I don't work from home, I work on site, so I work long hours and trying to get everything in, extremely difficult. And when you are, then you've got a family as well, you've got things you've got to do at weekends, so this is the reason why having a club there, so you can get a good structure. And I'm also going to go on in future videos about how a club should be run, and how it's run for its actually members, not just for profit, and the structure that we've put in place. Having Tri, it's the 10th anniversary of that club this year, and just the general workings of that club, and hopefully if you are in the club you can improve your club to be as good as ours. And also talking about the way that your family is with the club, the relationship with the club, and because of commitments it can be quite daunting for your family to actually tell you what they want, and the club obviously have to respect that you can't always make everything, and obviously vice versa. So some of my influences that I've come across in my, this year will actually be the 10th year that I've been doing long course triathlon for. So the 8th of September in 2013 was my first ever long distance event, and that was Challenge Henley, and I'll tell you about that later on. But in that time, some of my influences of there, going back to that sort of time, was Stephen and Bella Bayliss. Just they were the main people in the UK at that time. Also, then going on from there, you had Frederick Van Leerd, who I've actually got a signed picture from him now. He's a big influence on me. Obviously, Jan Frodeno, who can't count him as an influence. The man is the greatest of all time. I don't think we're ever going to get anyone actually better than him, because he is the first real proper superstar of the proper professional era. And on even a bit more of a personal level, Lucy Charles-Barkley. She is a major influence on me. I've been lucky enough to train with her, lucky enough to call her a friend, and to see her little puppies as well. There's plenty of people at Having Tri, that all the new people coming through, when you see them when they're starting off, they can barely swim. When you see them coming through, it's absolutely amazing to see them actually go and smash it. We've even got someone in their club who in the summer was 78 years old. He's absolutely fantastic. People like that, they are proper inspirational. So the races that I've done, I've actually completed 18 full distances. 11 of them have been the Ironman branded distances. So I've done 5 times Lanzarote and I've actually got a special medal. My last one didn't go anywhere near to plan as I wanted it to, but I'm going to cover that on a separate video. I've also done Challenge Roth 1.5 times. So my PB is actually at Challenge Roth, but when I went back there a couple of years ago, I ended up in hospital because some other triathlete decided just to stop right on a bend and leave his bike hanging out, and I then went over my handlebars and ended up in hospital. I've done 3, I think it's 3 half distances. I've done Outlaw Half, Wimbledon, which is my very first ever Ironman branding event and sort of introduction to long distance. I mean, that was one hell of an event, and I'm happy to say that actually one of my mates, Martin, actually won the very last edition of that event, and that is probably the hardest event I've ever done in my life. And I've actually still got the bike there, which was a 9-speed specialised road bike that actually done it on. I've also done a few short distances. Ones of note, the Barking and Dagenham Triathlon, which I've done 4 or 5 times, but unfortunately I don't do it anymore. So I want to take you on my journey to Challenge Roth 2023 and beyond. On my journey, we will be having a Haven training camp at Club Centre in March. Hopefully there I will get you a load of really good footage, and if you ever wanted to go to Club Centre to train or to train on Lanzarote, then if you watch some of that footage, hopefully you'll really get a good taste of what it's like and the reason why so many triathletes actually go to Lanzarote to train. I'm also going to do an in-depth review of my training room that I've got. It was actually one of the main reasons why we bought this house about 3 years ago, because triathlon is a lifestyle and I needed somewhere that I can actually train. I'm also going to be doing a review of my bikes that I've actually got. I'm also going to give you a review of my Specialized Shiv, the Series 2 model with the internal bladder. I'll tell you why I think that is the best pound for pound bike you can get. And if you are going to buy one second hand, then that is the bike to get, because it's the most modern of the old bikes that you can get. And speaking of bikes, I will do an in-depth review of all of my bikes that I've got, and I will tell you why I've used certain bikes at certain courses. Because I don't always think you actually need to use a time trial bike on every single Ironman race that you do, or full distance course that you do. And when I was able to commute into London every day, I will show you my bike and the reason why I use that bike, because to me, if you're commuting, you want a very basic bike. You don't want to be spending money out all the time. And I'm also going to talk you through my sunglasses collection and the type of shoes that I've got that I use for various events, and sometimes the reason why it's just not worth paying out loads of money for really expensive shoes. Training outside of swim, bike, run, hopefully I can give you some few ideas of how to train yourself to make you a bit more robust, because I've learned a lot of things over the years. I've always had a dodgy rotor cuff, I've had loads of injuries over the years, and seeing what the pros are doing, we should actually be using that as a good guide to what we should be doing as well. My nutrition strategies I normally use for most races. I'll explain what I personally do, what works for me, how I fuel, how I drink, my ideas of going through aid stations, because as we all know, aid stations are never long enough. And last but not least, how I transport my bike and all my equipment to races abroad. So there you have it. There's a simple introduction of what's be coming up. If you do want to know more about the videos that are coming up, please like and subscribe. Yeah, and put it in your comments below. And if you've got any suggestions of what you want to see, please let me know. I will tell you everything on my own opinion. Obviously, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I have no intention of really being sponsored by anybody. I'm just doing this for fun. All of my experiences, I've had over 10 years of triathlon, and 10 years I've been in a triathlon club, and hopefully it helps you become a better triathlete and you get your club actually being a proper triathlon club for its people. So at the end now, We'll see you next week for the next video. Bye. A fat useless triathletes guide. I'll be doing a B-roll of all of my medals that I've got.
Oh. No! So weird.